Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist-humanist philosopher and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, agnosticism, atheism, antitheism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudo-history, pseudo-morality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out, as well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel.
I was like, oh shit, don't say it's starting bad.
What's happening? Oh,
I mean, we are talking about bad subjects. I mean, like the dreaded, because I think finally we've reached the area of paganism where most people go, oh, I know what we're talking about. And I would say also, this is the first time the claim that a lot of atheists make would be accurate. A lot of atheists say religion was created to control people. And I would say if you're referring to any god, or I would say almost, I don't know if 100%, but likely any goddess, because I don't want to claim I'm not, but a lot. I mean, so it's all, I don't off the top of my head remember exactly, but I know that it's almost thing for thing. If it is a moralistic god, which is under 4,000, actually it's like maybe 4,500 or something. I don't know exactly. But because sometimes I say 5,000 or I say 4,000.
Either way.
Well, because the problem is it's actually in the middle. I really should say,
right.
Why didn't you just say 4,500? I went, yeah, because I'm trying to make it all easy for people. That's why.
Yeah, that's right.
that's why I said to you before, it's not like I at all am trying to like hide facts or fudge anything. I'm trying to make the whole theme more understandable.
Right.
So kind of like, oh, it goes boom, boom, boom. So there's the biggest thing I'm trying to, as you know, it's all confusing. I mean, it's a whole clusterfuck if I explain it all at once. If you look at a picture of everything happening, you're like, oh, that didn't help. Because it just looks like it looks like someone took a Sharpie and just went fucking like, mental on it. Like, oh, look, I'm going to do connect the dots. Like,
I see a bunch of lines and I see some things labeled, but what does this actually mean?
No, so that's what I'm trying to say is people go, like, I always love that too. They go, tell me what it is. Y'all want to hear your, and I go, really? Because I got a long explanation. And then I tell them and they're like, oh, that's too long or too hard, too complicated. I'm like, okay, here's a meme and it explains all of it. And they go, yeah, that's just a bunch of lines. And I'm like, you can't have it both ways. You can't both listen to both. Limit it to one thing. And then I do that. And then go, but that doesn't help me. And then I explain the long version. You're like, oh my God, that's too much information. Somewhere you have to be willing to work with me, right?
Yeah.
So I understand all this stuff is hard. Go back and watch it again. You watch it 15 times. I have watched stuff again and again before because sometimes the first time I hear it, it's just too much stuff. I'm not like aware. Or I've also done, which several times, I'll go back like years later or months later when I've read something else, or even weeks later when I've read something else and go, oh, wait a minute.
How does that fit?
It's like I was going to talk about the moralistic gods, and then, which I think happened first. So I think I'm not exactly, but somewhere between 4,500, let's say, and 4,000. Somewhere in there, and this is my opinion, the state invented moralistic gods to benefit itself. Done. Then here's another thing, okay? I also believe, basically, monotheism is also an invention of the state to benefit itself.
Okay.
So I would say both, anything that does touches that, then is a later version of something that was in. So that's which is basically almost all religions most people know about. It is correct.
Right.
Its origin does have relations to the state protecting itself. Totally.
Okay.
1,000%. Okay, just think of this. You'll go, oh, that's not true. Okay, so let's see. Where did we hear the first inklings of monotheism? Was it out in the wilderness, or just all populations equally started to? No.
I think that we've learned now that that's not true.
No, there's two places the goal. Damien, the first thing was in Egypt, a monarchy, and then the up there in Iran, another monarchy. Totally seems reasonable. Then it wasn't nothing to do with the monarchy, right?
Right.
Well, if the beginning origins only exist in the two monarchies, are you sure
it seems related in some way?
Sure, it's indigenous. Come on, right? And especially when you know that there used to be polytheism as the norm, it would seem not only strange but total fucking bullcrap to all of a sudden believe in just one deity. But if a state says so, well, we have. See, this is what I always tell people. To me, what happened is religion got a military when it got a state.
Right.
They kind of work together. They like each other and they hate each other because they actually both want to be the only power. The state wants to be the only power. It actually is using the military, going snickering, ha ha, we're using them. And then the religion on the other exact side is doing the exact thing. They're using the state and going, ha ha, we're using the state. And there's me in the middle going, fuck, I'm getting oppressed by the religion and by the state, who does not have my best intentions in mind except their own.
Yep. And it seems like, I don't know when you would necessarily draw the line, but you could add capital into there. And
well, I told you, to me personally, the idea of capital, first off, I told you capitalism, the word actually comes from a Latin and Roman term to the person that's in control of cattle, heads of cattle. And so why that's important, because you're a power person or an elite, because who the fuck else is allowed to have cattle or keep it? Because here's your thing, remember, just because you had it doesn't mean you're going to keep it, right? Who can keep something is one that has a military, generally.
Yeah.
After a certain point of time in history. The only reason you could say, I have a lot of this, you go, oh, then you're protected. That's simple. There's nothing. You don't even need to keep going. You had some sort of military or something protection.
Something to enforce.
Period.
Yeah.
That's all we can hoard wealth is military fucking force.
Yeah.
And as you see, most people, even with military force, end up having someone else with an equal or worse military force deciding that I want that shit too. And they just come and fucking take it. Fucking invaders. Which is, but so let's go back to I really want to go back to the thing. So like I said, so when an atheist says, that's why sometimes I go, oh, an atheist says this, they go, oh, religion was created to control people. I'm like, after 4,000, I'm fucking right there with you. But before 4,000, that's not why it was created. It was benefited to people to use it that way.
Right.
But that's not why it was created. See, that's created means like the what was the desire for it to happen? The desire for it to happen
almost
was not what people are saying. Especially as I explained, it's different. There was different desires depending on which kind of religion you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't like when atheists say that. But certainly, once you get down to, there is no such thing to me as a moralistic deity that is not somehow connected to benefiting the state, benefiting an emperor, benefiting the clan leader or the elite structure or some bullshit hierarchy.
Yep.
Which tells me right there, since it is no other indigenous place, it's fake. Well, they're all fake. But I mean, it's like the atheists would like to say, an invention for the desire to control people. Yeah. Anyways, so that's just to get everyone warmed up that's what we're talking about. And I know it's wild claims maybe to some people, but believe me, you need to, if you don't understand, go watch the rest of the videos and go read the blogs. But
yeah.
They're even better. If you think that the shit I say or we read here, go read the blogs and then really have your mind blown. No, but the point is, you really should read it all, because you need to understand, because the more people understand, the more empowered we're going to be to fight religion. And it's not just religion, because when you really hear the story of prehistory, you realize it's the one thing that people say all the time is crazy, that there wasn't anarchist societies that worked. Anarchist societies is how we fucking started. What are you talking about?
Right. Yeah. It wasn't called that because we didn't have all this other stuff going on.
They may not even call it that now, but guess what? That's the best part of anarchism. What the fuck? We don't go, I have some. That's why I tell people, and I know, because I'd like to be an anarchist, which is, guess what, confusing to you, because I don't have this fucking need for fucking boxes and labels that fucking. I just go, yeah, whatever, throw it at the wall. That's what I care about. And fucking where you think it sticks, as long as it's what I care about. That's why I said, when someone calls me a communist, okay, but does it fit what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Tell me, don't tell me the term. Tell me what you stand for, because that I'll probably either agree or disagree.
Right.
Like when someone goes, I'm anti-war, I'm like, well, see, then we're already agreeing. I'm for not killing prisoners after we capture them. Totally agree with that too. So, I mean, you start going, this, and if you want to call that whatever.
Yeah.
I told you, as an axiologist, that's fine, because what I care about is the values that I live. The values that we fight for, the values that are worth fighting for. Not the fucking labels 10,000 people want to put on whatever. And this other thing too, it doesn't mean that I'm saying that other labels or other theorists that came up with labels means they're bad. I'm saying that us fighting to protect the label and not the values is what my issue is. Who gives a fuck who said it to me? I care about, that's like I said, I don't care who decides that it's okay to start feeding kids that are starving, but I hope it's fucking somebody.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? That's a value. I hope it's somebody fucking soon. Kids are starving now while we have, I don't know, billionaires playing fucking spaceman and Buck and Rogers out there flying around like fucking losers, bunch of fucking toddlers that are just selfish while children are starving. Shame on you.
And with climate change, like these rockets going up into space, like, or near space, that they create more carbon emissions than like, or greenhouse gases than like the entire population of the world. Like every single time they do it. So
it's shameful. And how in the fuck are we so depraved as a society that one of these fucking scum that don't feed children
can just
gets
keep
on
going
Time
up
Magazine?
Yeah.
As person of the year.
That's right. I mean, fuck Time Magazine, really.
So to me, that they fucked themselves, because how dare you be so disrespectful to humanity by doing something so fucking vile?
Yeah.
But that's just me. Let's read about some more vile shit, like the invention of this dumb crap that we now know, or at least because of me, I would say, is all because of the fucking state. So let's go hear a little more about why the fuck life sucks because of the state, because that's just why.
Okay, so we've got Arnold Peterson has used the existence of primitive communism to argue against the idea that communism goes against human nature. Hikmet Kiveh, I do not know. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. In his thesis of history, argued that the pre-capitalist societies, the main dynamic of historical change was not class struggle within society, but rather the strong collective action of egalitarian and collectivist values of primitive socialist societies, in quotes.
Right. And I would say I do know one instance, kind of what they're saying, like where it probably was socialist, and I don't know if a king came from outside. I don't know what obvious dynamics, but somebody tried to be ruler, made themselves a little little bungalow that was by themselves, but looked over the water, over the big, away from everybody, like 4 times bigger than all the other little houses. And then all of a sudden they got burned. And then it got never repopulated. Never went back to live in a socialist scheme. I thought I was like, damn, we could have fucking stayed that way. What the fuck? Why didn't we do that? But anyways, I'm not for burning things. I'm just saying, yeah, that was the right response. Not only are we going to kick you out of that building, we're going to burn the building. We're going to leave it there, shit burnt, never fucking used again. We're going to keep living. And always remember, look at that motherfucker. See that shitty piece of building all burnt and fucked up? That was when a ruler tried to fucking rule us,
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
I was like, could have been nice. That could have been us, but you had to love greed.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, right? Actually, people always hate when I talk, because that's why, because I don't fuck around with words like socialism and anarchism and all that shit. Not that it's not what we're doing. It's just,
right.
Let's talk about the values, because I know that actually moves people like a motherfucker, no matter what they think their political is.
Right. Yeah.
And so to me, that's more beneficial. I'd rather get to someone, like I said, anyways, I don't really care if you want to call yourself whatever. If you believe in feeding kids and not going to war, and education is better than jail and all kinds of other wonderful feeding homeless, here's the reason. Because we're civilized. Woo! Holy fucking shit. Wouldn't that be crazy if you could say that? That why do you feed people in the street and not let kids go uneducated? Like, we're civilized?
Yep, because that is the ethical way to do it.
What the fuck kind of question is that? Is that what you do when you go home to your kids? You didn't eat today, did you, little fuckers? I hope you didn't. Did you work for it? Well, if you didn't work for it, starve. I mean, it's really, but people, no one would want that for their own children. It's fucking disgusting that they want it for anyone else's.
Yep. Yeah, that's like the idea that we should be treating all children as though they're ours, in a sense, in the way that we care for them and we care if they are fed. And
well, that's how you do it. Let me explain how I do it. Everyone's a dignity being.
Yes.
Every dignity being deserves to have human rights. Human rights, believe it or not, belongs with food, shelter, well-being, safety.
Yep.
To me, I'm just saying. That's what I said about values. I try to make it real simple. If you don't hold those values that we should take care of kids, here's real simple how Damien feels about you. Fuck you. That's it right there. I'm serious. I told you before, Cory. I also do not want to hear about what the parents did wrong. Like they'll say, oh, well, the reason the kids are starving is not because society is bad, Damien. It's because the parents are drug addicts or whatever the fuck, or who knows what, that don't care. And I go, and you're telling me why it's justified not to feed a child? I'm still not hearing it. Can you please keep going? Because I must have missed it. Why a child shouldn't eat? Because I must have missed it. I didn't hear any ethical why a child shouldn't eat. You talk about parent, blah, blah, blah. I didn't hear nothing about why a child shouldn't eat. I'm fucking, because I've starved as a child, so it's like a fucking really big deal to me. In fact, it reminded me, the first time I went and helped at a inner city thing with kids, I didn't know. I thought it was just educational. They brought in food. I started crying. And the lady goes, what the heck happened? And I'm like, I starved. And seeing you feed kids touches my heart so fucking deeply. I'm crying.
Yep.
That's all I want to see. I don't want to hear no fucking talking, no bullshit. There is no fucking excuse in the world why another kid needs to be hungry in a world we call fucking civilized.
Yep.
But anyways, sorry.
No worries. No, that's... We're on to the second paragraph now.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry. Life has been pissing me off, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Due to the strong evidence of an egalitarian society, lack of hierarchy, and lack of economic inequality, historian Murray Bookchin has argued that Çatalhöyük, dating around 9,000 years ago, was an early example of anarcho-communism, and so an example of primitive communism in a proto-city. It has also been argued that the Indus Valley civilization is an example of a primitive communist society due to its perceived lack of conflict and social hierarchies.
There's one issue that I would have with that one. Not that I disagreed it was happening, disagreed with the why.
Oh.
In a sense, I see it as a semi-vassal state of the Sumerians, or certainly highly connected to where everyone knows. It's like saying, well, that's not the mafia. I'm like, but they are friends. Are you really going to go mess with that person? You know the mafia is their friend?
Right. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'm just saying the point. So I know there was more than that. Actually, they were more threat than even just an offhanded threat. I mean, it is direct threat. They would have probably gone to war because they actually, I don't know the whole thing, so not claiming to, because once it starts going below 4,000, Damien, or around that area, I come from 1 million to 5,000 is really heavy. Then 4,000 starts getting less. Then starts getting anything less than 4,000. I start almost not knowing really what's going on. Because that wasn't my point. My point was, how did this happen? Not tell you every fucking thing that ever happened in religion.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So I want to know how it happened. That's where my research is always older. But so it definitely in the Indus Valley, they were, at least we know for sure that they were giving people or being taken. Because I thought I was archaeology. I always assumed the best. Oh, people had moved thousands of miles from the Indus Valley to Samaria to go work in sweatshops to build beads for the Mesopotamian elite. And I think
it's entirely possible.
We're working intentionally, or we're talking about fucking slavery here,
right? Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm not saying that it was slavery because they'll probably go like, oh, they have the archaeologists and historians like fucking having, throwing up in their mouth. No, I don't know that. I'm not saying for sure it was slavery. I'm just saying it seems odd. And yes, it could have been labor thing and everything like they say. I just question it. Because I feel like a lot of times they put the rosy shine on the shit sometimes.
It's fair to question a narrative if it doesn't seem to fit every
Well,
single
because
aspect.
if you have all these people go there, and they're working for the government. How they say stuff is like, oh my god, it's like because I feel like it's funny to me how I'm not trying to put down archaeologists, historians. I'm just making a point about
Right.
it. So I'm going to clarify. When I say things, a lot of times, even atheists or anybody, or skeptics, or anybody, other anarchists or social, I'm always generally trying not to talk people. I'm talking like ideas, like how you think. So people don't get it confused. I'm not doing something different. So the idea, though, to me, is generally that states are good, that society benefited by having this glorious king that protected everybody. I just go,
Right.
come on.
Well, yeah, because the assumption that people live within is baked into their conclusions, right?
That's what I'm trying to say. So I feel like it's not like the archaeologists or historians are somehow like lying. These definitely were powerful, but if Hitler was powerful, would you glorify him just because he's powerful? I mean, it's like sickening to me. Is he a slave trader? Did he murder and torture people? He cut off people's fucking hands lots of times as trophies of war, big stacks of them in Egypt. Is that somehow okay? Is that a great guy? A man of the
sound
people?
like a good guy to me.
He's a goddamn nightmare and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking Hitler. I'm just making a comment. That's what I said before about I hate this imperialism worship that I see, not particularly I'm not aiming my dart anywhere. I'm just saying anybody who talks about these imperial dickheads as these great, things, it just, I'm sorry, makes me a little ill. And I know you're used to saying it, the glory of Egypt. And I vomit when you say that because it'd be like saying the glory of the Third Reich.
Well, and I do think something similar when people talk about the glory of the Holy Roman Empire, right? Like
Right.
these were conquerors that murdered people.
Right. Oh, it was so great. He controlled the whole area. Do you know how you control the whole area of people that don't want to be controlled? You fucking kill, torture, rape, and tax the fuck out of, like now. So
Yep, that's right. If you don't like
that's
the
all
US,
I'm saying is just because it's old capitalism or old, fucked up king bullshit doesn't make it somehow glorified and this now is like horrid. Like, if that's how you think, I'm really questioning your, once again, value structure.
Right.
No matter what you call yourself, like your values are seeming not to fit what you should. That's all I'm saying. That's why I said I fight for a general socialism. You want to know why? Someone goes, that's fucking crazy. And I'm like, you don't think that generally socialism is good? Because I do.
Yeah.
So unless you think generally socialism would be a bad thing, then I don't understand why you would have a problem with me saying I fight for general socialism, which means any kind of socialism that generally is the good stuff or whatever. And how do you find that? I only want the good stuff. So you decide that.
Yeah, that's right.
I want the just stuff. That's what I told you. I told you. I don't. That's why people try to get an argument with me. It is totally different than other people because I'm like, I'm an anti-capitalist. Then I'm a socialist as a solution.
Right.
Boy, if there was no socialism, I would not move one fucking millimeter inch, whatever you want to call it, from the position of anti-capitalism.
Right.
It doesn't somehow become ethical because there's not a good solution. I'd still be like, this is unethical fucking shit in the world. When the fuck can we get rid of it? Let's figure out some fucking shit to get rid of it. Or let's just stop it and just start caring about people and then figure it out as we go. Or anything is better than that butter bullshit. But anyways, sorry, you go ahead.
Okay. The Marxist archaeologist V. Gordon Childay carried out excavations in Scotland from the 1920s and concluded that there was a Neolithic classless society that reached as far as the Orkney Islands. This has been supported by Perry Anderson, who has argued that primitive communism was prevalent in pre-Roman Western Europe. Descriptions of such societies can also be gleaned through the works of classical
I would say not
authors.
all parts of Germany. So let's be honest. Southern, Eastern Germany and Western Austria, I told you, is a capitalist fucking stronghold that pretty much, even I don't think it was like the same people running it. I think the same ideas and sort of like, that's also where a lot of people thought in a sense, sort of the Celts come from or something. because that's what it looked like they were like focusing on. Yeah, I know that's what capitalism bullshit started. And then the people in those ideas kept that area, even though shit was like culture was swinging all around. It was, okay, cool, but we're still keeping capitalism. Yeah, but still this, and yet still this. So I go, Oh, and then eventually, at about 4,500, they get slaves in their houses in Germany, and because they were free people, of course, right? Like you just said, free people that have slaves.
Right.
Those kind of free people.
Like they were free people, but their slaves were not.
I hate when that happens. Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Right, so it's not the same. Let's be a little more accurate. But I understand, too. And I'm not trying to put down people in the past that talked about the stuff that they're saying is, I'm just saying knowledge that I have that makes it a little more accurate now because I understand more stuff.
Right.
So it's not like attacking them or they're kind of right. And I'm just explaining it better. I'm trying to.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't know if I always do that, but I'm trying to.
That's fair. All right. Biblical scholars have also argued that the mode of production seen in early Hebrew society was a communitarian domestic one that was akin to primitive communism.
And I've got to say that in a sense, certain sects of even early Christianity before the Romans decided to hijack that religion. That's like, to me, some people say that the whole thing is a myth. And I go, well, I don't even fight that way because first off, there's enough biblical shit that makes Jesus sound like it's not even true. So why the fuck even care about it? I can show you the Bible verses that fucking make you not believe in Jesus. And in fact, this one church tried to challenge me. I just sent them the memes. There's 15 of them. They go, wow, these are some really heavy questions. We'll have to talk to another pastor and get back to you. They never got back. I've already quit now my activism, but they never came back for years. So I'm thinking they must not have been able to even deal with them.
There was either that person ended up leaving religion or that person dug themselves even deeper into the cognitive dissonance, right?
He's wrong. He has to be wrong. He's
Yeah.
an atheist. He's trying to make me lose my faith. Yeah, I bet he did. Because if you read those 15 things, it's going to make you question some Christianity, or at least Jesus, hard as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Because I did the ones that like really got me, And so I put those out there because I felt like, boy, if you read these, I don't see how you can't also go, what the fuck?
Right.
Because there's shit like, say, did Jesus have a cousin or something? Yes and no. Is Jesus the Son of God? Yes and no. You're like, the fuck? And a couple times it's yes and no. I'm like, okay, now, what the fuck? Jesus' last words, nothing. The other one, I think nothing. And then this one says he did this. Or no, I think one says he said one statement and the other one says a different statement. You're like, wait a minute.
How does that work?
I think it's like, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but it's something like, who's Jesus's like uncle or something. And it's in two different names. You're like, or it's like, there's tons of stuff. But it's contradictions that you just go.
Right.
Because the Christians go, they can't explain them. Well, some things about God you just can't explain. I'm like, yeah, because facts need to be explainable. And this shit is just nonsense. It's fucking yes and no. What kind of an answer that is to me? If that's not horseshit, what the fuck? I mean, yes and no. That's the epitome of horseshit.
Right. Yeah, it can't be both.
Anyways, so go ahead.
All right. Mele Sue, yeah, I think so, has also commented on the mode of production seen in many primitive societies is a domestic one. The Indian communist politician Shripad Amrit Dange, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, considered ancient Indian society to be of a primitive communist nature. Other communists within India have also labeled current indigenous groups such as the Adivasi as examples of primitive communism. In Radcliffe Brown's study of the Andamanese at the beginning of the 20th century, he comments that they have customs which result in an approach to communism, and their domestic policy may be described as communism. Alexander Mikhailovich Zolotarev, in his 1960 work on the development of the religious cult communities from tribal communities in the Balkans, spoke of the primitive communism of the archaic form of the tribal system. Jensen, in the 1980s, conducted a historical study of Wolof society in West Africa, looking at the development of class antagonisms from a primitive communist society. Also in the 1980s, Bourgault looked at the forceful transition of indigenous societies in Canada from their traditional structures that were anarchist and communistic in nature into capitalist exploitation due to encroaching imperialism and colonialism. Such an area of interest has been a common topic of research for many fields beyond just Marxist scholars. Some anthropologists, such as John H. Moore, have continued to argue that societies such as those of Native Americans constitute primitive communist societies, whilst acknowledging and incorporating the research showing the complexity in Native American societies.
Hold on 1 second. Do you notice how much it seems that people want to say, and I'm not disagreeing, that there's socialism in prehistory? But do you get how ridiculous it is then to try to argue with me that there's not capitalism? See what I'm saying? I mean, unless you're going to decide that you can't use the word primitive communism. I mean,
it's just an application of a modern
don't
term.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You can't say it. Oh, wait a minute now. I'm gonna tell you something about my mind. Things have to be universal to be true.
Right.
So if you the one side of the coin is that there is such a thing as primitive communism, you can't go, well, hell no, Damien, there's no such thing as primitive capitalism. Oh, fuck.
It's
okay there, bro.
I think if there's anything that it seems to be like the overarching theme of this series is that every single thing that is now was an evolution.
That is totally correct. I am so, and in fact, my book is called The Tree of Lies, right? It's the evolution of religion and removing the rationale of faith. Because the point is, once you grasp it's an evolution, how the fuck do you have faith?
Right. Yeah.
Done. That's the whole point of the book. Done. Solve religion. Done. Because I solved it in the fact that I show you that it is 100% justified, not guessing, not speculating, not skepticism. I can look at the scientific fucking facts and say, I know all this shit's connected. Done. Meaning it is culture, meaning it was man-made, human-made, woman-made, whatever you want to call it. Really, it's more man-made than woman-made, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. My point is, who gives a fuck? The point. That's not the point. The point is, it is all something that is culture. Like I said, I don't even buy this bullshit that it's not just culture. It's culture, stories. Done.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. You want to keep your culture stories? You keep them. But let's be honest. That's culture stories. That's it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Don't pretend it's something else.
I told you before, Cory. I'm an anarchist. I don't care what the fuck you believe. I believe in freedom of your fucking mind. Not from me. From anybody.
Yeah.
Now, that freedom also has responsibilities.
Yep.
And if you talk bullshit about some nonsense in public, I have every right to fucking challenge your ass. I'll go, I won't do that anymore, but everyone else has a right to challenge your ass. How's that?
Yeah.
We'll get done arguing with people. I know shit. You want to go check it out? You want to be a friend? Cool. You want to argue with me?
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not even gonna flick you off. I'm just gonna say I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm done. I'm not an activist anymore. And people, this is for me. It's hard because I want to be nice, but it feels like people were being very unloving to me. Like somehow I'm a product, not a fucking human,
and not a person. Yeah.
not a fucking like I'm an idea or something. that they can just do what the fuck ever they want. I have fucking feelings, and it's not like I'm a sociopath. It's not like every little bullshit pisses me off. It doesn't. I don't even care. It's like gnats. You don't think about what they're thinking.
Right.
Yeah, and
but when they start to swarm you, they do get pretty annoying.
It's bothering me. But anyways, that's actually not what's causing me the problem. So I'm not leaving anything to do with that. Zero. So anyone who thinks that they made me leave, bullshit. What happened was I thought I was fine.
Right.
Trucking along, feeling great. Trump came. I cried for 5 hours when they inaugurated that. When they said he won, that day that I heard he won, I didn't mean to. I just nonstop cried for 5 hours because I realized humanity's fucking lost. We're going to get fucked right now. A whole bunch of people are going to suffer more. It's like, I got to talk about voting before. I know if we don't vote to keep monsters out, we'll get monsters in. And so I don't think that voting works. Fuck no. What I think voting does is it helps keep out monsters. And I'm sorry, I don't care what any anarchist thinks. Go fuck yourself. I vote because I do not want Hitler to run the place where I live.
Yeah, it's like just a form of harm reduction. It's not as
exactly. I don't believe in it. Do you know something? I have not voted since 2000 up until Trump. I didn't vote for Obama. I didn't vote for nobody else. But when I saw Hitler running, I felt it was a moral fucking obligation, as you said, harm reduction, to go,
yeah.
Now that I will vote every time, all day, every day to keep out Hitler. But that's just me.
It's like you get on some sides of the left, we have people who make fun of voting because they go, oh, well, it's Trump derangement syndrome and oh, it's orange man bad. But the orange man, what is in fact bad?
To me, actual people have fucking died, so they can shut up. He's a mass murderer.
Yeah.
They already said, right? This is a fact. I'm not talking bullshit. 35% of all the world's misinformation for COVID is from Trump directly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not bullshitting when I'm talking about all this death is his fault. A single human being, was more than every country's propaganda. So even if you think Russia or China, fine, they still weren't worse than Trump.
Yeah.
So don't act like it's a derangement. Anyone who tries to do that to me must be themselves deranged. You're not a clear thinker. I'm a clear thinker. Period. I will follow anything that's the fucking truth. And I'm telling you, that dude is dangerous.
Yeah.
And if you think he gets in again, yeah, like I said, whatever. I'm done. I've told you fuckers, explained the values. I told you why I fucking hate him. Like I said, I can't believe I got kicked off for saying that. Like I told you, the stupid bullshit. I don't even think is it not even that extreme that I should be fucking permanently banned from fucking Facebook?
Somebody must have reported you, right? Mass reported.
Probably. Wouldn't I don't doubt it.
That's the trouble with
because I have I had them too, open profiles. Probably also why I got kicked off of LinkedIn, because the lady, she was like, "Oh, you've been reported a whole bunch of times." That's what she said to me. What am I gonna say? No, I wasn't. You do all kinds of things that are wrong. What am I gonna say? No, I don't. I'm like, well, what do you mean by that?
The question is, do the things I do actually violate the terms of service? It shouldn't matter if it's reported.
Well,
do I violate the terms of service?
Did I read them?
No.
Better. Did anyone fucking read them?
No, of course not. But
fuck no. And I certainly don't like reading. And that's another thing too. Please, people, end with the books shit. Don't. You saw the stack I got rid of, or you know. I've read tons of books, and I probably read like 10,000 articles. My eyes were like bleeding. I've read so much. Done. And I told you, the real Damien wouldn't have read fuck all. They would say, "What'd you read?" I would have gone, "I don't know, some dumb shit when I was in high school."
Right.
And elementary. That's the last time you read something? I read as fucking little as I could possibly can get my hands on, which is nothing. So and they go, oh, Damien, I told you before, they would get mad. Damien, you're such an intellectual. Why would you tell people don't read? No, I didn't say you should. Motherfucker, you should read. Half of you dumb as fuck. Please fucking read. No. No, I'm saying I'm an ex-street kid, drug addict, thug, criminal, whatever. Do they generally be known for reading? You know what I'm saying? I'm known for saying motherfucker a lot and fuck you a lot and smashing you in the fucking face a lot. And like at one time, just to give you an idea how ridiculous and stupid, not even like doesn't make sense, just stupid violence or just aggression, not like violence, but just aggression in general. My friend goes, oh, let's go to the mall. We're just going to walk around, not do anything, right? So, oh, mall, okay, cool. So he pulls in, and then I open the door, and the car is too close. So when I did it, it bumped the car. He goes, oh, be careful. 14 times I slammed the fucking door intentionally into that other car because he told me to be careful. That's what kind of a fucking lunatic I was. Of course, it damaged his car, and I didn't think about my friend. What a fucking asshole, right? Not only the person, but I damaged my friend's fucking door. He was like, what the fuck? Like you're ever going to come in my fucking car again, asshole. You know, but here's the thing. How is that not like a billionaire going in space?
Oh, yeah. No, that's right.
All the world, right?
Yeah.
All those children. Let's glorify your big fucking dick, right? Fucking sickening. Seriously, it's as sickening as what I was doing. As I tell people, I'm not glorifying my shit. My shit was vile. I was a vile, scum human being.
The difference being that you learned a better way.
Different is I don't go, that's a great thing. Let's keep doing it. In fact, put me on Time Magazine while I'm a piece of shit scum. No, while I'm hurting people is the time that everybody should have said, Damien, you're acting like scum. Not
right.
Oh, that's good. Let's make you a millionaire. You sound like a billionaire personality for sure. Another thing I think is funny too, because I don't go around like acting like an intelligent asshole, people assume I'm not an intelligent asshole. And that's actually very fucking wrong. I'm generally probably the most intelligent person that people are talking to. I'm smarter than fuck. That's how fucking smart I am. Smarter than all fuck. I'm so fucking smart that when I talk to smart people, they feel embarrassed because they're not fucking smart enough. Because even when they're smart, I'm faster. I think so fucking fast. Like I told you that one thing. I wasn't even trying. I didn't know there was a thing, right? They pass out our midterms in my counseling, right? Here's the thing, too. I told you, don't like reading. I probably read maybe 30% of the book because I'm fucking bored. I'd rather fucking, jack off than read this dumb fucking crap. I feel like, well, I just want people to know, I felt like I understood the mind of people in counseling better than the people talking about it in the book. And here's an understanding maybe why. I lived on the streets. My life depended on how fast I could talk, how fast I can think. There's one time that I'm 1,000% sure I'm alive today because I think fast. I come out, they're on this corner, and 7 African Americans jump out with bats and sticks and say, and at 9:30 at night, it was dark, and say, there's the white dude, let's get him. And I went, hey, dude, I'm cool. Shit, I run with blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go, but, I started talking, and I said, dude, everyone knows me, which is not true. They don't know that.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, they know that. And they're like, well, I don't really recognize you. Go, sure you do, right? Which is actually called projection. Something I'm good at. Project into people. Just tell them what they think. Like, the Jedi shit that I can do if I want. And there's everything I told you too, Cory. So why doesn't Damien do that? Because Damien could actually go and swipe away all these motherfuckers like they're nothing. Why don't I?
Is it because you're a good person?
Didn't we talk about this in our first video? Remember when I went stink over shit about good person? Did you also see why I go stink over shit about ego? And then I also fucking laugh when fools think I'm stupid. It's like, dude, I'm so fucking smart. Here's a clue just how smart. the military was willing to have someone paid to go take the rest of the ASFAB in my name for me, just so I can go do top secret stuff, because they just wanted my mind. They didn't give a shit about everything else. I didn't make the weight requirement. They go, no problem. We'll just say you don't make it because we want your mind. And I said, well, so I got to run. I can't run. They go, fine, you won't run. We'll just want your mind. We'll just say you're not in compliance. We'll just say that you had to listen and do counseling. Who cares? We want your mind. And I said, well, I have a drug thing. No, you didn't. We want your mind. I'm like, I just said it. I don't see anything. We want your mind. I'm like, well, you said I can't. I had to get a top secret. Would you? I'm saying it too fast. You're a top secret. They want like super high because I'm able to think super high. And so, right? But I started thinking, like I told you before, wait a minute. How is everybody else going to feel when Damien doesn't have to fucking run, doesn't have to make weight? Someone's going to kill my ass. I thought, holy fucking shit, I'm going to have people in the military wanting me dead. Because nobody likes a fucking show off, in a sense. But you know what I'm saying? Because to get that many unfair rights, they would be fucking mad. How come he doesn't have to run? How come he doesn't have to be in compliance? How come he doesn't have to wear his clothes right? How come he doesn't have to do this or that or whatever the fuck, just because you want my mind? And I was like, you're putting me in a position to get killed. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm logical, and that sounds scary.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
right.
fair.
A whole bunch of military people, no offense, but they generally desire to be tough and kill first, and not to be just. What I mean by that is, a lot of them will say, "I can't wait to go to war." Then you are having mental issues, or you're having emotional issues, or you need to check your ego because it's unhealthy. Because anybody who wants to go to war is an unhealthy person. Yeah. That's not healthy thinking. I'm sorry. What the fuck? It's like, imagine if your marriage vows, you're like, and I hope that we fight till the day we die. You'd be like, there's something actually meant.
Why would you want to do that? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Isn't it funny how if you say something in one context for Damien's thing, and people are like, oh, that's fucking crazy. I explain it. They go, oh, I go, see, a lot of times, here's just the clue. I'm fucking smart. Just listen to me, because I also have this huge amount of caring. I'm trying to use every ability I have to help everyone, not just myself, or almost not myself before at all. But now I'm going to start helping myself. But so my point was, though, I'm really just trying to make sure everybody gets better. And I realized that no one's ever cared to just try to help everybody.
Yeah.
Or at least they didn't feel like it. And so I was like, well, I guess I just got to do it. That's why someone asked me before, like, why'd you do that out of school? You know, why'd you drop out? I dropped out of 7 classes because I realized the most ethical thing I could ever do would be to help the world right now. Not fucking later. Not counseling somebody and hoping that they help the world. Just stopping all this school and just fucking start helping people. That's why I started just going down to Mexico, going to the inner city. I just started fucking helping people, because I realized, like, well, that seems extreme. Well, really? Because before I had this belief that there was a God, Jesus, that was going to save the fucking world, that I was cool because I was on his friend's team. So I was in. I didn't have to do fucking nothing. I could hate on people and don't have to do shit. Like, oh, I got God, I'm fucking good. But all of a sudden, in college, when I became an atheist, by seeing facts, and all of a sudden it was almost like a spiritual experience, whatever you want to call it. I had it felt like the blood hit my face, and just felt like because I got it. I had been fucking conned, and they started pissing me the fuck off, like, ooh. But anyways, but that was the first feeling, was just pissed off. Fuck, I've been conned I'm fucking 35, and I've been conned my whole life. But then I thought, fuck. If there's no God, there's no one coming to save us.
Right.
That's fucking scarier. And that's when I started realizing All right, then I said I got to be an activist. It was like I didn't even know what I was going to do. Didn't know what activist about what I got to talk about everything and all the shit right now. I mean,
Yeah.
That's why I said 2006, man. I just started. So I tell people, don't wait till you have the answers. That's what fucking regular people do. Just fucking be bold and do it.
Right.
If you're wrong, who gives a fuck? Do it again. Then now you know.
Fix it.
Yeah. I don't know why people are so scared of failure. I'm not scared of failure. How many times I failed in this fucking book? Fuck a lot of times. In fact, I thought it was all great. Like, I don't know, 6 years ago. Took it to a publisher just to be told that, oh, that's just nice. Now go take this whole half the shit out and change a whole bunch of stuff. Then I took it to an archaeologist friend of mine. He's like, you're getting closer. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, no, you should probably throw all this out and start again. I'm like, oh my God. So I did that. That's what I did. And I've told other people before when they're like, oh, well, you just, stick to your ideas. Bullshit. I did not.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't. See, that's the one thing about following truth. But let's go ahead and here's some more truth about.
Sure. Where were we? Okay. James Connolly believed that the Gaelic primitive communism existed in remnants in Irish society after much of Western Europe had almost entirely disappeared. The agrarian communes of the Rundale system in Ireland have subsequently been assessed using a framework of primitive communism where the system fits Marx and Engels' definition. During the Age of Enlightenment in 18th century France, some liberal writers increasingly began to criticize the institution of private property, even to the extent they demanded its abolition. Such writings came from such thinkers such as the deeply religious philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau. In his hugely influential The Social Contract, 1762, Rousseau outlined the basis for a political order based on popular sovereignty rather than the rule of monarchs, and in his Discourse on Inequality, 1755, inveighed against the corrupting effects of private property, claiming that the invention of private property had led to the crimes, wars, murders, and suffering that plagued civilization.
And like I told you, it's not exactly wrong. I would just call that kind of if you're talking about the beginning of work, I said capitalism about 7,000 to 6,000 years ago over in that one area of Southeast Germany and Western Austria, then hell the fuck yes, I agree with that statement completely.
Yeah. Raised a Calvinist, Rousseau was influenced by the Jansenist movement within the Roman Catholic Church. The Jansenist movement originated from the most orthodox Roman Catholic bishops who tried to reform the Roman Catholic Church in the 17th century to stop secularization and Protestantism.
Yeah, let's stop secularism.
Yeah.
I laugh when Christians try to make it scary. Secularism. Yeah, we're going to let you have your religion. Fucking scary,
yep, that's
huh?
right. It's so scary. It's so scary when other people don't believe the same things as you.
No, the issue is that we're going to let you have your religion, but so does everybody else get to have theirs or not religion.
Yeah.
And yours doesn't get to have no preference. That's all.
Yep.
Scary.
Very scary. One of the main Jansenist aims was democratizing to stop the aristocratic corruption at the top of the church hierarchy. Victor Duope's 1779 work, Project for a Philosophical Community, described a plan for a communal experiment in Marseille, where all private property was banned. Victor Duope referred to himself as a communiste, the French form of the word communist, in a 1782 letter, the first recorded instance of that term. And that is the end of that section.
Or not. There's a thing where it has a bunch of different dates, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I want you to read those.
Okay.
But you can comment on it a little more, but basically I want you to read them so people can hear it.
Sure.
So don't feel like you're reading too many because it's a whole bunch of dates, right?
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure what you're looking at. You're like, wow, good. Am I reading? No.
No,
I know the stuff that Cory should have, and so.
Yeah. So we've got pre-animism in Africa, Eurasia, at least 300,000 years ago. We've got animism in Africa, 100,000 years ago. Totemism in Europe, 50,000 years ago. Shamanism in Siberia, 30,000 years ago. Paganism in Turkey, 12,000 years ago. Progressed organized religion in Egypt, 5,000 years ago. And in Egypt, the first dynasty, 5,150 years ago.
Right.
Current world, quote, world religions over after 4,000 years ago. And early atheistic doubting at least 2,600 years ago.
Right, which a lot of people don't realize, which is really odd. Like the first sort of atheistic doubting at 2,600 years ago was actually probably in the continent of India. Probably Hindu philosophy was kind of doing that.
Right.
But then Greece is where at 2,500, then it really, really, really takes off.
Right.
I don't know if there's any connection once again, because that gets down to times I don't know.
Okay.
I know that they're both related, but that doesn't mean that idea could have came after, and I don't want to claim
Sure.
that. I don't know. So I'm not even going to try to claim. Another thing too, I wanted to go back, which I've told before. It's good to say you don't know shit publicly. I don't know why people get so fucking like scared and say I don't know. And look I know a lot, right? Fuck a lot. But I still will say I don't know, because guess what? I don't fucking know everything. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Fucking nobody fucking has to.
It's important to recognize that limitation in yourself, right? Like,
well, if you don't recognize it, I'm really questioning if you're an honest thinker, because what the fuck? You don't seriously? Hey, you think you know everything? I know a fuck lot, and I still wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
I don't know everything, and so
it's a little funny, because sometimes I will say, well, no, I know that I know more about these things, or my views are correct on these things,
right.
Compared to certain people, and it sounds like I'm, not admitting that I don't know certain things, but that's part of how I got where I am, is by always knowing that I don't know enough.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I've told you before. I've never said that I don't like skepticism at all. It's just that I don't value it to the level that everyone else seems to value it at, or has been taught to value. It's really what I think it is. Because my personal opinion, is the atheist and skeptic movement came out of James Randi, who was not a philosopher, said a bunch of stuff that is not actual philosophy that atheists like to say. That's fucking wrong as a motherfucker. Like he'll say, you can't reason someone out of something they didn't reason into. That's complete and utter bullshit. So stop saying it now. That's never say it again. How's that? Take that mem, burn it with fire.
Yeah.
Because if that is true, then no counseling works. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Oh, intervention doesn't work because I'm pretty good at it. And I can show you things of me doing it at will whenever I practically want to almost anybody I want to. No matter if they're hostile, no matter if they're, they're hostile. That doesn't seem to stop me.
Right.
The only thing that stops me from someone, they leave. That's it.
That's the thing.
You fucking stay, and I will get you if I wanted to. There's another thing too I told you, Cory. Do I try to do that? Again, no, because I don't feel, it's like if I walked around walked around the streets with a machine gun and just shot people because I have a brain that's like a machine gun. Is it appropriate to just fucking kill everyone that makes me offended? Really? Wouldn't that be that I'm the, abuser or aggressor? Since especially, that just like reminds me, if someone has martial arts to the level, right, that they're so skilled they can kill someone, and they do kill someone in a street fight, is it just self-defense, or is there any difference? I've heard before that they actually can be charged with murder because they are a deadly weapon. And that's all I'm saying.
It certainly seems like there's a difference, right?
My ability to actually get to people, because first off, I had natural ability, okay? So on the street, I already had to survive. My life depended on it. Plus, I was white and hung out with a lot of gangs that were basically Mexican and African American. So the fact that I could somehow survive and all that, I certainly am a fast thinker, and not only that, then I thrived there. So That's
Kind
how
of back.
I laugh when people like, I've been around people and they're great, so fuck you. I've had more racism from white people than fucking I've ever had from Hispanics or blacks or African Americans or even Asians.
Yeah.
So fuck off. But anyways,
kind of back to the skepticism thing. Like, I think that one of the major problems, and James Randi is a product of that.
I wasn't seriously bad. He did good stuff.
No,
but the problem is, stick to it. That'd be like me deciding that I can do magic. Would that offend you? What if I did it shitty? Would you have any right to say anything? Right? You do reason shitty. Sorry. I'm fucking good at it. I'm helping.
Yeah.
Now, I like James Randi. I have pictures with him. I like.
There's lots of stuff he did that was good, but also
good.
Yeah.
So
it's just the movement became the movement became about a cult of personality over certain people, right? And
the movement is still a cult of personality over
right.
certain people,
which is
and here's the bad thing: it's not that they're totally bad people either. All of them. Some of them, I think, have some questionable thinking, but
some of them are bad people.
Yeah. Trying to be nice. So are bad people. Anyways, my point was that but they still even like those bad people. But because I like to try. Oh, well, look at how much he's done. I'm like, look, if you haven't looked how much I've done, and you seem to have no problem telling me to go fuck off.
Right.
And I guarantee I've done more for atheism once everyone figures it out than Dawkins has done.
Well,
because when you figure out what I've done to religion, no one in the history of the world has figured out as much stuff about religion, putting it all together, as me. Never, not anyone, not a single person, period. So my point is that, and I'm not, once again, it's not an ego thing. I'm not trying to say I'm better than Dawkins. I am,
right.
But it doesn't matter. That's not what I'm saying as far as atheism or whatever. Still, in philosophy, give me a break. That dude shouldn't even talk when it comes to philosophy.
Yep.
Holy shit, dude. What are you talking about? It's weird to me.
He really needs to get his Twitter
because
account.
This is why shouldn't a mind that thinks it's smart realize I should not talk in every area, right?
Yeah.
That's like me. Do I try to say all and claim I know every communist shit? Do I or anarchist? I tell people I haven't really read it. I'm honest.
I don't hear you talking about evolutionary biology very much.
Right. Do I talk about that? Exactly. And that's what I think. He could be this like, is there Mozart? Is he good at playing piano? Does that mean that he can do science? People, I just go, how can you be not good at thinking? It's hard for me. And look, I try to have, dude, I try to care. And I do, and I even say things. My goal is but it is hard when you're like smart and everything seems logical, and then you hear people talk, you're like, where do I fucking start?
Oh yeah.
Like, holy fuck, are you? Oh, sometimes it's like so bad. But here's the thing too, and before, not now, by the way, I'm not an activist. Before, I would spend days trying to help people and shit.
Right. Done
with that. You bother me, keep fucking bothering me. I'm just gonna fucking block you. Done.
Yeah.
Because I'm a regular person now. I do want to help still. That's the other thing is weird. How can I? It's like your work. How can I say I've stopped work and then you think I stop as a human? Like this.
Right.
So,
you still exist.
Oh, capitalism has you believing your job is who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck? I was not an activist as somehow like a different kind of a human being. It was a behavior I was doing. A productive behavior to benefit society is direct action. The thing I think that everyone should get involved in at some point in their life. It just is a gift, I don't know, to the humanity that you're allowed to be here. You're here. You should fight for it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so I'm not saying you should have to do as much as I did. I'm just saying the fact that you don't, not you, but the fact that someone doesn't do anything, hey, skill.
Right.
Seriously, you can go outside and just cheer for your friends then.
Yep.
Or I tell people, if you can't do any of that, and you want to stay silent, you know what you do? Start sending money to Cory's Patreon account because then you're helping, right? If you can't do direct action, fuckers, pay for the people who are so they can do it.
Right.
Don't fucking go, I totally support it. And they're like, okay, when do you support it? Like, well, I never do. Like, well, then you don't support it.
One of the things that I think one of the things that people can do that is it sometimes feels hard, but can be very small and is just break with the white solidarity that seems to, like, if you have white people in a group and they start saying something that's racist or they start talking about minorities in a way that isn't good, you can just say, well, that's not true, or I don't agree with that. You don't have to be in an argument. You don't have to do a big thing. You just have to say, I disagree with that, or that's not true. And
right. And if you want to throw a dignity attack, because they're always wonderful and they always motivate people, always make it morality.
yeah,
This deeply bothers me. Don't even explain. When they say what because what it is, really, you're throwing random guilt and they're gonna fucking suck it up like a fucking sponge. And the least you talk, the more they'll make it a monster. Don't ever, because you know what? Do I have to explain why humanity is important?
shouldn't.
Those are dignity attacks, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I try to teach people. I have stuff. If you read, there's step 1, step 2 in atheist activist training. That's like my videos are and blogs that go with them. But I'm trying to teach you how to do this because it's not magic. And yes, it is something that I invented sort of out of my mind, and I understand things that other people don't. But I'm telling you, you follow boop, 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 and it's amazing. Because I've already figured out why it's amazing. It's like someone saying, well, I don't believe in holograms. I go, yeah, but you still see them, don't you?
Yeah.
You cannot believe I can do stuff in your head, and I'll still be in there doing stuff as you think I'm not. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, really? So you think counselors, a really skilled counselor cannot somehow talk to you and get you to think different? You pay them how much money for what? $300 an hour for right. What? To not be in it and not have the ability. So somebody believes that somebody can do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm generally better than them. I'm the counselor's counselor, or could be in a sense. That's right. How. And but I'm not done. It's not about. I'm just thinking a coin. But I know, like I told you before, Cory. See, the problem about people, they've been valuing things how capitalism does.
Yeah.
You know, the real truth is I've always been worthless. I don't sell anything. Not yet. So I'm nothing. I don't even work. I'm a blight on the society. I just take. I take everything free. Right? Well, you see my point is if you listen to capitalism, boy, you can make I'm an unemployed, I am a draft dodging, work evading.
Right.
I think there's other good ones. I'm employment leaving because I quit like a motherfucker. I'd be in jobs 2 months. Oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
I can't help it, anarchist. But there's the thing too. I always go, yeah, it could have been my extreme child abuse that you didn't give a fuck about, and then you say it's my fault that I'm fucked up. Well, I was only abused. Imagine if someone went through war, come back, and then you persecuted them all the time, put them down because they have PTSD. Imagine what kind of fucking piece of shit you would be if it was a child.
Right.
Imagine now that was me, motherfucker, that you're putting fucking down, and I was a child that got fucking brutalized. And you say, "Whoa, I don't ever get spanked." Well, I was spanked by a 2x4. Does that make any difference?
Yes.
So my point, that's a fact, by the way. I wasn't throwing that out as a random joke. That was a fucking fact that I'm saying.
It does matter.
Oh, that's really? That's okay too, right? Spanking is totally doesn't matter if it's a fucking 2x4. that he
It
broke
matters.
my fucking tailbone with, or sacrum, whatever the fuck. Everyone goes, well, it's not actually the tailbone. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know what I'm talking about, you pieces of fucking shit. I'm talking about child abuse where I have my fucking spine broken and you want to clarify what fucking part of the spine? Sometimes, Corey, I'm like, oh, they're just lucky I'm not the old me.
Yeah.
I'd be in jail because some of this shit. I'm like, how can you be that insensitive? Seriously. Do you realize what
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Brutalized. And you're fucking making fun of me? And you're putting me down? And you're thinking I'm aggressive or stupid and it's my fault? I was brutalized, dude. You're lucky I don't bite everybody's head off. So I work hard to not do that, you know? Like,
yep.
It's this like terminal denial. Denial's an addiction. People fucking love. They can't get enough denial.
Yep.
Because I agree about helping. But like I said, they'll always say, yeah, but. You know? Corey's not saying yeah, but. Corey has how many other shows? Like a couple other shows besides mine. He still makes time with me. But that's what a person of character does. And I'm not saying everyone has to come on my show.
Right.
I actually don't want that. Like I already said, let me clarify for everybody. I wrote it in different places, whatever. And so I apologize. I misspelled Corey's name first. I deleted that and put a new one. It's not like I was trying to do something. Sometimes it goes back to like street kid and shit. I write so fast. I'm sloppy. When I sign my name, it's like D because I just don't give a fuck. It's being a sociopath. It's hard. Like it's hard to like care because but I don't. But I just don't care. Like
well, and I mean names are just like I don't know. For me anyway, it's not a big deal.
All this, like you said, terms, names, blah blah blah. I'm telling you, like my mind just goes. As I told the one guy, he goes like, "Oh, you see, to be able to really grasp information deep." I'm like a dragon evading like a village. I float over information so fast that I'd probably read like to you guys one word, that word, this word, that word, this word, that word. I mean, I read so fucking fast. Like I go, wrong page. Boop, boop, boop. Ah, there it is. Oh, okay, now I understand. Oh, and this was this one and that one. Someone would be like, oh, no, this is a joke. There's no fucking way you're doing that. I'm serious. That's how that. And I'm just saying that. But is that necessary to be a good person? So someone talking about value, and I go, I've met some smart people that are the biggest pieces of shit I have ever fucking. The world would be better that they were never born. So their intelligence is actually not something I value on its own, but the quality of the ideas.
Yeah.
Now that, and then I don't value people, but the character I'll value. So I value Corey, not because I value Corey's followers or some specific thing, but from the moment I saw the picture and how Corey interacted as a father with his child or children, whatever, or acted, and didn't know it actually was his. How I saw Corey, I should just say it clearer. How I saw Corey's interaction and comparing himself with the children, I know is love. That's what I was saying about how I can pick up stuff way faster than everybody. I see things and pick up shit. Like there's in that one show that I had on before where there's a guy from like Britain or something, and he was like able to look people and he could say they're lying. I'm not saying I can actually pick up.
Oh, like The Mentalist? Is that what it was?
Something like it's not. I'm not good at the lying thing. So sorry, people. But knowing your feelings, your general, like sometimes I can even know more than that. Like, oh, you've been abused as a child. Oh, you're an only child. I mean, almost. This is what I think too. So when people do this like cold reading shit, I'm like, I can do that too, motherfucker, and that's still not magic.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll explain why it's not. See the difference? You're making it hocus pocusy. I'm going to tell you that when someone uses certain words, or the way they talk. Like if you said, well, Damien, I've always been real strong. Do you think I believe you? Fuck no.
Your tone of voice does not seem to.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I pick up stuff that nobody else is even paying attention to. Once they get probably the streets, live in the streets. I did not know these people, and they're all dangerous gang members and stuff. I need to somehow get involved myself in all these gangs and not be fucking killed.
Right.
So I had to pick up who's doing what, who's in charge, who's aside. A lot of stuff. That's once again about why. So that's what I was just saying. So it's really my toxic environment that made me so skilled. More than it should have, is my point. My intelligence is high, but it's like moderate genius. It's not. I seem higher than that. Like people talk to me, I seem like fucking off the charts, like Einstein fucking genius. But it's not really. It's more street smarts. It's
Right.
the fact that my life depended on it. Einstein could think on his bike. I had to think with guns pointed at me. Yeah. My life, if I said the wrong thing, I was dead. Probably tortured and then dead.
Yeah. And the difference too is like, okay, so he's thinking about physics, but you're thinking about the scenario and how the best way to get in out of that scenario alive is. So
I am super freaking good at that. Like, exactly. Because it's like, I guess like if someone goes to war, they become an expert, at war. I became an expert in the sense of navigating humans.
Right.
Navigating them, figuring out who they are, what their status is, where they go, how to manipulate them, how to control them, what their weaknesses are. Then I told you, I learned, wait a minute, they all have the same weakness. Fucking ego. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the worst is, the bigger and more thing there, the worse the ego, the fucking easier you can get them. Holy fuck, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
And then when they get mad, the ego gets worse and their thinking goes out the door. You could really get them then. Oh my God, ego is wonderful. And other people, when I want to manipulate them. But you know what? If I don't want to be manipulated, ego needs to be gone. Because that's how I tell people that I'm a ghost. They try, not anymore, it's not to do activism, but how I'm able to do what I was able to do. One of the things is to basically become egoless. I am not Cory. I am not human. I am not male, female. I am nothing. I am not even talking to you. I am not here. I am a ghost. I am air. I am nothing. There is nothing for you to attack. And people will feel that. Even psychopaths, they try to take, by the way, they're the hardest to fucking get. Whew. I can barely get those assholes, and sometimes I can't. Or they take like 5 days or 4 days, and I have to use every freaking mental strategy in the fucking book against them. Because they're fucking can be monsters. Well, the biggest thing is they don't care also like me.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to, but you know what? They still let a little bit of ego get in there. If you do, that's a key right into your fucking brain.
Right, eh?
It is. I'm telling you. Because the reason why, if you follow ego, does that mean you're following reason? No, right? You're following ego.
Yeah.
And ego can be easily offended, right? Doesn't it? Oh
yeah.
That's why. Does that sound like someone thinking? Or someone who's overreacting? Someone whose mind is actually in an emotional hijacking. And guess what can happen when you're emotionally hijacked? Well, then someone else who's skilled can come in there and go, hey, look at this. Play-Doh. Yeah. Because you're actually in a state. And here's the other thing, too. People understand that people like to lie. Don't believe them. Like, say, you say, I'm strong. I'm not afraid of you, Damien. I don't think you can get me. Don't believe that. Don't even fight that. Go say it again. Cory, are you a good person? Whoa, 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 whoa. Cory, I'm asking you a question seriously now. Are you a good person?
Yeah.
You understand? What I'm doing, I am saying, I'm going to control the conversation. It's going to be exactly how I want it to be, about what topic I want, when I want it to change, or not.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of following them along their tangents and their
They
distractions.
learn very fast that no one can fucking get me. And the reason is because, like I told you, I was an egoless. So you're fighting air. There's nothing to fucking fight. I am not offended by anything at all. You can fucking say you want to kill my wife. Nothing is going to stop me from getting you. Because I know you're going to go 1, 2, 3. And you may not even go 4. Because you know what? Most people barely go 2. You push them just a fucking hair. They're so fragile. It's like little freaking paper dolls. Ding. Telling you. But I guess it depends on how strong you are.
Right.
You have to be calm. You have to have no ego. Like I told you before, it's a great strategy, but I do agree why a lot of people probably just have to stick to skepticism, because my shit is good, but it's complicated. And it also involves this massive amount of ego reduction that most people almost can't do.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Yeah.
I do realize that I have this extra ability to just not give a fuck about my own ego, which everybody else seems to not have the same ability. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Now you all know what to work on.
There you go.
Because not only did I say it is your weakness or anyone's weakness, because let me tell you the thing. Just because I can do it knowingly does not mean that everyone else is not kind of doing it unknowingly. It's not like you're all like stupid and no one's ever thought of how to manipulate people. Right. I'm not delusional. I'm just saying I can do it on will, on demand, when I want, to who I want, wherever I want, no matter what their personality, no matter if they have mental illness, no matter if they're high, drunk. None of that shit matters to me. If they're coherent enough to think, enough to talk, I can get them.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like in general, people often, because they operate by and large on instinct.
Right. Not axiology. There's
like the attempts, I guess you could call them almost primitive attempts to manipulate others. Like you say, they're not doing them knowingly, but they do it like with passive aggressiveness.
Some people
or they do
really
it
with their spouses, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is really very unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like, do you know that I've been with my wife for, and there's other thing people understand, because I don't really care about dates and times and things and ages and shit. I don't know exactly. So my wife, it's 16, 17, and 18. I don't know exactly, maybe 19. Who the fuck knows? And I'm not saying it in a negative way. I just, my wife, she doesn't care, because here's the crazy thing. My wife deeply knows I love her. I never have to give her Valentine's. I don't do that. We don't celebrate our years together or anything, because you know what? We celebrate our years together. See the difference?
There you go.
Yep. Instead of picking like little moments, I always go, it's funny to me, I think. Imagine if you had this perfect marriage, your perfect spouse, right? When you first start, you have this, because of course everyone starts with this perfect, big, this, less, this, whatever. Let's say you got your perfect spouse. You do realize, even if you got that perfect person, they're going to make you change something. Because some fucking part about you, they do not fucking like. Guarantee. Fucking guarantee. You know why? Because that's fucking people.
Yep, exactly. Because none of us is perfect.
But here's the thing. Instead of, once again, like capitalism, instead of starting with the mentality that is bad, that is normal. Why do we think things that are normal are bad? Instead of going, wow, we need to learn how to live together in happy relationships. Like anarchism, which is what me and my wife have. If people think we're poly over marriage, well, I say that sometimes, but that's not actually accurate. We're really relationship anarchy, which, once again, we don't actually call it that either, because here's the thing about anarchism. I have no need to call it names.
Right. You just live in a non-hierarchical kind of relationship. Yeah.
What I mean by this too is we don't have any social structure. Someone would, in fact, people have seen us together, like interact around people, and they think I'm her gay, friend.
No.
But, or something, because But because our interactions is so like a friend that they think we can't possibly be married.
Mm.
Because crazy thing, I want to be friends with my spouse. I know most people. Woo, that was going. What, Damien? Of all the extreme ideas, I think I just lost like in 5 pages.
Yeah, that's probably the most radical thing.
Like your spouse? Are you, dude? Oh, that's too far. Woo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the when you like I always call my partner my partner. And if somebody doesn't know me, they don't know whether I'm talking about a man or a woman. They don't know what kind of life we live. We're partners. We share in everything. We intentionally do, help with each other. Like
sometimes I say partner too, just because I don't care. What if I was a man or a transgender person or whatever? If I have certain preferences, but I also don't care that you don't know that. Because it's
exactly.
like my mom said to me when I had my name changed, because I changed my first name, my middle name, and my last name.
Right.
Because I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yep.
And it made everybody pissed off, which almost made it better. That wasn't even the point, but damn, that almost made it better.
Bonus.
Oh, wait a minute. What was that? You don't like it?
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck you. And I'm like, oh, by the way, my name is not Joe anymore. It's Damien. And anyone who dead names me will no longer be talking to me. That includes anyone in my family, including you, Mom. Before Mom died, a long time ago. I thought it was dead serious. This is who the fuck I am. You will call me by this, or I won't talk to you ever again.
Well, I mean, if Damien is your name, then that's your name. I don't understand why people have trouble with
because the first thing was I was named because of my father, and so that already pissed me off.
Of course,
his name was Daniel Joseph Tolosi. So Tolosi had to go. I did not want to be connected with that, but not hating my rest of my family. By the way, you guys out there, they're Tolosis. I am not being against you. Against that fucking dickhead who hit me with fucking 2x4s,
Right. Yeah.
Let's be real. Come on. I think you can join me in hating him. Should be an easy one. Hitting kids with children, not even a man, remember. Hitting a child with a 2x4. Let's correct this.
Yep.
If you had missed that part. Because I left him at 13, so that stopped by then. So it's younger. Under 13. Yeah, actually it's probably about from 7 to 13. Maybe it was in between that, and I was like, maybe not.
I have a 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
To think that somebody would hit her with anything actually is, I don't know, infuriating. Like the idea that somebody would hit a 7-year-old child with a 2x4 it's abhorrent.
I was awful. 9, I think when actually that happened, but I'm not totally sure. But
that's not that far different than 7.
but you get my point. So people need to get the context too. Not only is it bad, it's really bad.
Yeah, that's right. Like it's awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember when my brother didn't understand why I was willing to beat his fucking ass to the ground when he told me I had to forgive my father. And I told him, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And then he said it again. Well, you should forgive because of. I said, do I tell you don't go see him? Do I tell you don't talk to him on the phone? Do I tell you anything about him? No. Don't tell me anything about him. Done.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what I had to explain about that. But then he got mad, of course. And he's like, well, you should. And I was like, once again, you telling me what the fuck to do. Especially about this bullshit with the motherfucker that I want to personally murder.
I think,
there
seems to be like
I'm not trying to go into about my brother or anything, but my point or hate on him. I'm just saying that you could see where my feeling of, but it's the closest I ever came to beating my brother. because then he said, let's go outside. I said, okay. So I walked outside. And my dad went freaking out that, how dare you, Damien, go out there. And then my mom says, Damien, don't beat him up. And then my dad's like, why do you think Damien's going to win? And I just looked at him like, Mom knows. At least one of the fucking parents is not insane. Who is a fucking street kid? Who is also was way bigger, always stronger, and aggressive is all fucking shit.
Right.
Me. And plus, I was 5 years older, but it doesn't matter because we were both older at that time, adults. But I still was. It doesn't matter if he was bigger than me.
Right.
I am like a berserker because of the shit I went through. He did not go through that. That's why he can go see him, and I don't even fault him for it. He didn't experience. But then I go, the only part, Tim. How could you be my brother? Say you love me. Understand I was beaten with 2x4s, and then tell me any fucking thing about that dickhead. How is that love? I feel like sometimes the world, and remember, this is the guy I saved his life. He would not be alive today if I didn't fireman's carry him down a mountain 5 miles in knee-high fucking snow during a full-on blizzard that we would have died. And he said, let me die here. He laid in the snow. And I thought, oh my God, my mom will kill me if I leave this fucker. Because my first thought, all right, I would just walk home. They would say, what happened? I was like, I don't know, man. He disappeared.
He laid down.
Well, I didn't tell that because then they would say, you left him, it's your fault. I would have just said, I don't know, he got lost. Being honest, I would have lied. Newsflash, I would have fucking lied. No, but I thought, oh my God. That conscience or, care. Oh, fuck. Because I started walking. I was walking, and I stopped, I don't know how far, maybe half a mile. I thought, oh my God, he's not coming. Because I look back and he's not coming. Like you said, he's laying there getting, because I think by the time I got back, if I remember right, it was 2 feet of snow on top of him.
Jeez.
Because it was falling that fucking fast. And also because it's hard to go back up the hill in 2 feet of fucking snow.
Yeah.
I had to now go back up that hill, which was almost impossible. Because you're sliding and shit, trying to. Anyways, but I carried him. Let's see. What would you say if I'm saving your life, right? Cool looking brother, right? No, fuck me. That's his opinion before. He's kind of being different now, but sort of mildly. If he saved my life, I would have him just saying, me personally, if someone saved my life, the way I saved his life in a heroic fucking way, I would be thinking a little different, but that's just me. But so I put him on my shoulders and I carried him down the fucking thing. And the whole time he complained because it was still blizzard. So hit another 3 feet of snow, whatever is on top of him, which actually was great for me because now all the warmth on my neck. And he was freezing his fucking ass off. Do you think I really want to hear about how he's freezing his ass off?
While you're carrying
him down the mountain?
Yeah.
Then like I said, then we get to the bottom, and what happens? I get basically nothing. No fanfare, no Hallmark greeting card bullshit after I just saved this fucking guy's life and stuff, and nothing. And then my mom's basically, everyone's irritated. Damien took him up there. You risked their life. That's what they said. You risked his life. He ran off the trail, bragging that I was lazy. And I said, quit going off the trail. Stay on the trail. Off the trail. Oh, there's holly or whatever the shit in the trees or whatever. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Stay on the. And then it starts snowing. I go, let's go back. Oh no! So it's not my fault. Every time it's not my fault. Starts snowing. I go because I checked ahead of time. No snow. Right, we're up the top of the mountain. No snow during winter, but that's cool. It's all little fire and everything. Nice. Fuck no. No snow. Bullshit. Full on fucking blizzard happens.
Jeez,
fucking I don't know, 10, 20 feet of snow or something. What the fuck? So yeah. But But I'm sure Canada, that probably seems like, oh, you mean Tuesday? Well, Damien, that generally is like a Wednesday or so. I mean,
our winters are pretty bad.
You're like, yeah. Did you want sympathy for that winter story? Oh, so you had to drive to find the cold? Oh, I'm so feeling for you. You almost died intentionally because you did that to yourself? Wow, that must be hard.
Yeah. I do recall, like, actually, when I was in high school, it was so cold the one day that me and my friend walking to school, we almost gave up. And we almost just laid down and we're like, you know what? Fuck it. School's not important enough. I'll just die here. But we got lucky because a lady pulled over on the side of the road and she was like, hey, do you guys need a ride? Yeah, that'd be great because it's cold as fuck out here.
Well, that's crazy. Well, that's another thing too. Is when I was in California, people don't help you. They stop to help you. Huh? You need to be suspicious. Right. But I was up in Washington, and it was like a blizzard my first time I went up there, and the person stopped behind me, and I'm looking for a weapon.
Right.
I'm ready to kill this person. I'm thinking I'm going to be attacked, carjacked.
No, I'm just here to help, actually.
Like, oh, I see that you must not be from around here. It looks like your radiator froze. Did you put water in there? Like, yeah, like normal. Where are you from? I'm like, Southern California?
That's why. That explains it. Yep. In California, you can put water in your radiator.
Yeah, you can't do that here.
No.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to, like, I think sometimes people don't realize other people's experience. I hear people talking like somehow your experience, it needs to be given all the respect in the world. But other people's experience, fuck them. Like somehow their oppression, totally, is cool. But my oppression,
Well, yeah, like, what is it? The fallacy of relative privation or something, where my experience is totally on me. Like my successes are mine, my failures are systemic. But your failures are you, and your successes are systemic.
Well, I didn't read any books of philosophy by famous philosophers. A lot of people think like, must be smart because you read. I'm so smart, didn't read them. That's smart. So they didn't even need to. I never read a book on logic, and that's like I can blister through people. But here's the thing they don't get. I actually don't use really logic a lot. I use reason a lot. When you want to really see someone do better than me, my wife, she does logic. Because then to me, just so you understand my thinking, reason in a sense is like a sound judgment in thinking. Okay? So when you say something reasonable, you did a sound judgment to that thinking. I don't know what it is, but whatever it relates to, if you call it reason, has to be a sound judgment in thinking.
Right.
In a sense. Yeah. So I'm good at sound judgments and thinking because in a sense, what people call critical thinking, which that's not exactly what I do, but more like sound judgment because I faster. It's more reason. It's fluid in a sense because it's before. Critical thinking is, you're not adding more stuff. I'm back here.
Right.
I'm back at the beginning. This is what all that stuff you're talking about has to be resting on. That foundation of reason is what this architecture of other ideas are all built on. Every one of them. Period. And every time that someone thinks not, I've had some philosophers a long time ago when I was an activist have to be understood that my way was correct, that in fact, everything must start in reason. Because see, thinking can be disordered. But you can't really say it's disordered reason because it's almost like contradictory. Then it's not sound thinking. Then it's not fucking reason. I mean, it's like saying something's logic but not logic. What? No, wait a minute.
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck? But what I'm trying to say is I want to teach people to get my style because it actually can operate inside of skepticism or anything because it's actually more primitive. It's this primitive way of looking at the world in a sense. You guys are adding this on top of like Legos. You stacking all this, and you're like, well, this thing is up here, and I go, and there's still reason down here. So yes, there's a lot.
Yeah.
You did stack a lot on top of that.
Yep, that's right.
And so because I understand that, I can operate faster, right? Because you guys have to go A, B, C, D, and I'm already 10 rows down. You're like, what
Right.
the? Yeah, because I'm looking at the reason. I'm not looking at all this other architecture bullshit. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm looking at the gems, man. You're looking at the tinfoil? Oh, that hold the gems? Why? To me personally. But I know, and I'm not saying everybody has to do my style. Like I said, some of it, yeah, I try to make some of it simpler, by the way. Remember, I try to like A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. I try to make a lot solid, super simple, even though actually these are like doctorate level concepts that I've made.
Right.
Well, and the reason is because I really am irritated that all this shit is like good, but nobody can fucking use it. It's like inventing this whole education system and then only favoring one race. You're like, so you mean like now?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, because well, maybe not a race, but certainly the elite. Isn't this system? Because I mean, that's what someone said for. Oh, that's not true. Like, you know, the good people make it. Really? Because I am great as fuck, and I barely am making it. So what the fuck happened? Now I agree. People go, well, you could have worked for the military. They wanted you. Well, that's true, but then I would be limited to working for the military, which means I would use my mind to hurt people, which really does not make me. Especially, they probably would have done me a mental side ops or whatever of actually doing stuff against prisoners and all that. And there's some real unethical shit that Damien does not want the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, same thing. Like I know the FBI wanted me. In fact, I told you when I was on LinkedIn, there are two of them fucking like hovering, you know, on my account. I could see them, and also I keep getting like messages telling me you should go and volunteer, or you know, go try out for the FBI. You have the qualifications or something, or you meet the standards.
Okay.
It's telling me this for LinkedIn. It's like you. So that must be that they know, and just think, look all the anarchist shit, and they still want me. Yeah, there must be something seriously they like my mind. They like, you know what they like is because I can hurt people with my mind. You know, those motherfuckers want that shit, and that's also why, as you said, ethical good person. How in the fuck would I give them that?
Yeah.
Fuck you, military and FBI. I'm never going to give you shit from my mind. I know you're going to steal the shit out of my blogs, but I'm not going to give you the really good shit that I can do because fuck that. I'm trying to help the world. That's why I also, that's what I'm saying. Like, so capitalism go, well, Damien, basically you're your military weapon and can hurt prisoners or hurt people or use to manipulate, you know, this and that. Yeah, does that sound like something I really want to fucking do? That sounds fucking horrid.
Yeah,
like,
no.
So that's why I'd be like, oh, you should have done that. Fuck you. I should have done that. Fuck no. I'd rather live in the streets than do that. Oh,
it seems like
shitloads of people. Fuck no.
People are stuck on like
a. Go ahead.
People are stuck on like a mainstream version of success, right? Like they think that financial stability is success, but if you don't want to hurt people, if you don't want to participate in something like that,
right? Because really, the best things, right? Because really, as soon as the military, the FBI, or any of that shit hears my mind, they think manipulate and hurt people. I guarantee it.
Right.
With the ability to do that, or the ability to make people talk when they don't want to, or they would love to know all that, and they're not going to. And I'm not telling anybody that shit. Like I said, because I realize it's better to be a good person. And anyways, I told you, I don't know why people focus on that. Why do you want to control people? I don't want to. Even if you can, why? I don't want to. And
that's part of being an anarchist.
But I'm saying, right, I'm an anarchist. So why would I teach you how to do that exact thing I cannot fucking stand? I certainly am not teaching it. I do not do it just because I can do it. Like I said, it's like saying I possess a grenade. Should I go throw it in public just because I have one? Like, what the fuck kind of maniac are you?
The answer is clearly no.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's why I told you a long time ago when we first started talking. It's always about values, and people need to get this because if you can live your life this way, you'll actually become a good human that we're talking about a lot easier, and you'll start making a lot better decisions because you're making them axiologically. In other words, valuing. You're assessing, and people go, well, I don't know, value is not important. Or I love when people say, well, Damien, that's good. I think it should go alongside this. And I'm thinking, are you fucking listening to me? I think like I talk, but maybe I'm not making myself clear. You cannot think outside of axiology. How's that? There's no such thing. Animals do it. If you can value judge, in other words, assess one thing as valuable or another thing, which if they can't do, how the hell are they getting food? How are they finding mates? How do they know when it's a good animal or a dangerous animal?
Yep.
In other words, you think neurologically, which actually there's a book about it, neurologically and axiological or value structures. So I'm not, once again, like about natural, how anarchism is, which it is natural. Our natural state of humans sure seems like anarchism and socialism together. Actually, I'm not saying they should be mixed because actually they were together. Yeah. In my opinion, they started together and they were always together probably for 15,000 years or so. And then people started leaving each other. And then because of that, and then I think other shit starts to get worse. And then it wasn't that bad still. And then it got a little bit better at first. And then it got worse. And then it got really worse. And then it's now. Short history of the fucking world.
Yeah.
No, but so to me, but I do agree but that's also like a big picture. So that's why I say sometimes when atheists will say, oh, well, religion is about controlling people. Because you could say, well, isn't a shaman controlling people? Yes. It's harder to say an animist is controlling people. It's way harder. But they are a little bit. But generally what they're doing, would you not want? They're like, you should not be boastful. You're like, wait a minute, that's actually a good one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some of the things they say, I don't know how hard people would be like.
Yeah.
Cool, because if the goal is, that's why someone before to me said, and I'm not saying that this isn't quoted by someone. I just don't agree with it. That there's no goal. I have a goal. I don't know if anyone else does. And they say communism doesn't have a goal. I have a goal. For me, anarcho-humanism. My goal, human flourishing.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I mean,
it's human flourishing. I think communism probably would be the best way to achieve human flourishing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, probably the worst way is capitalism. Or maybe feudalism, but I don't know. Sometimes it's better than almost good. Maybe slavery, certainly was worse. But I'm not saying that some kind of capitalism can be better. Certainly, if you're the one that's a boss, you fucking probably think capitalism is fucking just peachy as fuck.
Oh, sure.
But I always think of the moral failure it must take to be able to look at the suffering of your fellow dignity beings and not give a fuck. It must be a moral failure I just don't have.
Yeah.
And nor do I want.
But also, like, I think it's a moral failing that's incredibly common.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Like
I told you before, I do feel personally, because I understand psychology, I don't think people even realize it. Like when people get mad at me, like when the guy goes like, I'm a capitalist. Other people might get mad. I don't really get mad because I go, here's a person who thinks he's supporting freedom. Because he's fucking lied to. Yeah,
that's right.
So how mad can I really be, or how should I be as an ethical person, right? Of course, like I say, everyone doesn't have to have my values, but if you're going to call yourself an anarcho-humanism, you do have to have my values, because that is what you're fucking saying by saying you're an anarcho-humanist.
Yeah.
You have to, well, it's not exactly my values, let's put it that way. Corey's values.
A set of values,
too. Yeah. Cory has never said to me that he's an anarcho-humanist, but some of the behaviors or thinking, he clearly is. Whether fucking he wants to say it or not. And I don't even care if he does ever, but that's not, once again, I don't care about terms. I really care about behaviors. That's why this one guy goes, I'm a this socialist. And I go, well, what does that do? And they say this, and I go, I'm on board with that. See what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
Or maybe that's not exactly what I want, but boy, that sounds good. As opposed to what? Capitalism? Where's your shit? Let's bring it on.
Yeah.
That's why people are like, well, this wasn't perfect. I'm like, as opposed to capitalism? Okay, it's not.
Yeah, there's certainly an argument to be made that any improvement is a good improvement.
Well, But see, I think not why, and that's why I agree with you. See, you have the right attitude already. Like I told you, the harm reduction, that is what a humanist would do. How the fuck would a humanist hold a standard that you have to reach perfect or else nothing?
Right.
That's not a fucking humanist. What the? So you're telling me there's a kid starving. I have a can of beans. I should only not give it to him because if I can't give him 1,000 cans, don't give him any food at all, right? What the fuck are you talking about?
Only give them if they're organic, non-GMO,
you know what I'm saying?
sugar-free beans.
Oh, I always tell people when they tell me that I need to go more vegan, which I told you half my food is already pretty much vegan, just because I'm trying to eat. To me, the biggest thing is I don't want to get gout or some crazy shit, so I try to limit. But and I want to go on and on of it real quick because I know you're going to go. So I'll just say that when people say this, I always think if you feel so compelled to tell me this and you feel like you're an activist, prove it to me. Go down to a homeless shelter and give them $500 of fucking vegan food. I'm sure they would love it.
Yep.
And I would certainly love you doing that for them. How's that? So you'd already make Damien happy. If you want to make Damien happy, go fucking give homeless people some fucking food that's vegan if you want it to be. But more power to you. Shitloads of vegan. In fact, give $10,000 of vegan food.
Sure.
Give them, in fact, so much. Tell them unlimited supply. All the homeless shelters, you now are going to do all vegan. I will openly tell you that you do that. I might even go vegan totally. Just not. I'm just kidding. I will not. But it certainly makes it make me like want to champion you. How's that?
Yep, that's right.
I would be like, man, we need to start championing some vegans. Then what the fuck? They're fucking helping homeless.
Right.
You know what? You want to impress me? It ain't your followers. It ain't some fancy bullshit words. Show me how you're really helping, or show me how you're presenting, like Cory, the environment that supports that behavior. Both are worthy. Both the behavior and supporting the increasing of that behavior.
Yeah, that's right.
So go ahead and Cory, speaking of you, go ahead and tell us real quick if you want anything that you've learned or you feel that this you've now done the eight things. Is it just seem like no big deal, or what would
well, I think I mentioned it earlier. It's like if you go through this entire series, the thing that you're going to see is that all this stuff is an evolution of beliefs. It's an evolution of culture and an evolution of economic systems and all of this stuff, and culminating in where we are currently. And
totally agree
that it doesn't even matter what we call it in the past, because we're using terms that we know from our current state, right?
Totally agree. That you're doing great.
So that's kind of, I think, the core of what I take from all of this work that we've done.
Would you say that you feel more comfortable to be against religion or what religion is now than you've ever been before?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was a pretty strong atheist before, but absolutely, like, I think it's done nothing but justify that, right? So
yeah. Well, and did you didn't have the knowledge about all the communism and socialism in the past, or atheism, or no atheism, we'll get that too, but
no, that's true.
I meant anarchism and socialism and stuff, or communism or whatever.
Yeah, like it is quite affirming to see more and hear more about previous societies that have had communist ideas and anarchist kind of structures. Like it affirms what I already thought, was that society is built on people. And if we, support our people, then our society will be a good society. And if we just do what we're doing now, it's all going to eventually just collapse, and a lot of people get hurt in the process.
Yeah, I would say that for me, learning all this, because I did too, people don't understand. It's not like I started as some doctoral scholar or something on this shit. I didn't know fuck all either. I came from the streets, man. I didn't read books and shit. I didn't know fucking science, let alone fucking atheism or fucking theism or anything. I didn't even already know my own religion, although I did read the Bible twice. That's just because I was a fanatic. Because when you read the Bible as a fanatic, that's what I don't like when they go, well, if you read the Bible, you'll stop being a theist.
Not
if you read
everybody,
it as a
yeah.
theist, thinking
Yeah.
everything it says is the perfect, innate word of God, then
Yeah.
no, because you'll read horrid shit and you're like, well, that's still okay.
That's
Like
part
one
of it,
person,
right?
oh, you need to God's love. I'm like, would that be before or after he killed the entire world? Just, oh, you know about the flood part? Whoa, yeah, but that's, God was mad. Oh, so when you're mad, murdering or genocide is a totally ethical thing? Really?
I mean, from our perspective, that's obviously not right. But I can understand how if you go into it as a true believer, you read that and you go, but this is God. So the rules are exceptional, right?
I hate when they say that. But I think that goes back to the statism thing, that's the great part of the new God. He can do motherfucking anything. In fact, he could tell you insane shit like, you don't have rights, but the ruler does. I mean, and you go, oh, yeah.
Yep.
This is the best system we can do. Because we have to have somebody, someone that represents us, Cory. I mean, what's going to happen if nobody, if Damien's not connected to anyone that, or anything, not even an anarchist, anything. There's not even an anarchist group of any kind that's connected to me, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's connected to me, not philosophy, not anything. But yet they all like me. But anyways, my point is, I'm saying that, but how good is it when one guy goes, oh, anarchism, you're just foolish, you can't make any difference. Oh, you think that I didn't make a difference? Here's their clue you need to understand. My difference hasn't even started. My book is not even fucking out yet. Did you guys forget that?
Yeah.
Wait till the nuclear bomb of my book hits the fucking ground. Yeah.
I think not everybody, but many of the people who declare that anarchism has never made any difference or can never make any difference are just ignorant of the history of anarchism. And I can't blame them. I was largely ignorant of it myself for a long time. I'm still learning lots.
I'm still ignorant of it.
But anarchism has and continues to make the world a better place in many, many ways.
Totally agree. And anarchism was, like I said, I may not know about anarchism like stuff like in history. I know anarchism in prehistory.
Right.
So that I do know, but it's the other stuff that I don't. But also, like I told you, it just makes sense to me. I just go, when you say anarchism doesn't work, you saying that I don't own myself, that I don't have rights to myself, that I can't be somehow, in a sense, have a dignity status. You're saying I don't have that?
Right.
The fuck are you talking? What do you mean it doesn't work? That's like saying, well, I hate to break the news to you, Cory. Human rights, they're just inconvenient. We're not going to no longer
literally what some people will say.
we just can't give them to everybody. I mean, if they're not white, could we still give it to? There's not enough to go around for them. Sorry. But anyways,
of
go
course,
ahead.
Human rights.
Yeah. And by the way, that was full of bullshit. I fucking hate fucking crap. Yeah. But my point is, it's very easy to do that. I hate when people are like, yeah, but it doesn't happen to me. I think, what kind of ethical failure is happening in your motherfucking mind that you could say those words out loud and still smile in your fucking mirror and think I'm a good person? What the fuck?
Yeah.
These people understand. I get so irritated when some people say dumb shit because I see the value that you're talking. It's like you just took dog shit and you smeared all over your fucking face and you're like, see, Damien, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm like, well, it fucking should. That's what I'm saying. It fucking should bother you.
Well, yeah, it probably
you're
should.
Be quite well at sucking dog shit and sticking it on your face and walking around. Because I feel like that's the thing. Hate is the shame that we smear all over ourselves, trying to look better than others.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyways, go ahead and plug yourself for Cory, and we'll go ahead and end this. And people, we're going to be taking a long break. Basically, you probably won't see us again until January.
Yeah.
And then after that, it will be whenever me and Cory can do it and feel like it, because I'm not going to put no stress on myself. But I do want Cory, by the way, everybody, I do want Cory now to be available to come to whatever I do. So there will be no Damien's going to get called to do something and then Cory's not now involved. The reason why, because I really like Cory, and I don't like other people as much. in a common, general kind of way. I'm sorry. Cory's, it just, for me, way better. Sorry, people. So if I have to talk to you, I want to have Cory there because at least I'll know I'll have fun.
There you go. I appreciate that.
No, but so everyone, please go check out his channel before he tells you about it. I think he's really exceptional person. I feel like he's outstanding. Go support him monetarily. Support him by sharing and liking his stuff. Go become his friend. He is a quality human being. I tell you, he's the only person I probably want to talk to. So I don't know if you think I'm smart and I only want to talk to Cory. Cory's got to have something, fucking people. Anyways, now he's
I try to be a decent person. That's kind of the whole thing.
But that's what I like. That's what, but shouldn't we all like if they said, "Well, my hero, aren't they? Don't you hope that what you're claiming that they are is decent people? Isn't that what you would like about them? Isn't that the attributes that you would go?"
And in fact,
good person, you think decent, or does So yeah. So, and there's another thing too. Is it really irritates me when people act like that is not valuable.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Do you know how easy it is to get physical courage? Gangs do it all the time. It's not making good people. I'm not saying they're bad people all the time. But does that behavior produce goodness?
Yeah.
And we have to clearly say no. But what behavior does is actually being a good person in your thinking, in your actions. And sometimes what you do, and I do, Cory, we say we're wrong. We're humble about it. We move on. We don't let ego run us. Dude, moral courage is so fucking rare. Doesn't Trump era just prove that like a fucking son of a bitch? Or I don't mean to be putting anybody down or anything, so whatever, but I'm sorry. But anyway, so I'm just saying, horrible behavior. Is that what we want to do? Really? Horrible behavior?
Right.
Should we aspire to that? Should our society support that? Should we look up to people should we put them on magazines, call them person of the year that have those lacking qualities?
It's almost like an epidemic of
it is an epidemic.
Uncaring, right? Like where triggering the libs is now a political philosophy.
And like I'm saying, they have a lack of moral courage. I know it offends you. I am sure it does. Be offended. If what you do is moral, in a sense, violations, you should feel bad.
Yeah, that's right.
That's healthy. What's not healthy is to do it and then put those people in magazines. So anyways, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't care if you'd had just one follower. I still would have no different opinion on I want to be just working with you. That would mean nothing to me. They're like, Cory's never going to add nothing to you, Damien. I would go, he's been adding stuff to me all the time. What are you fucking? Are you stupid? What the fuck are you not paying attention? Cory does something you all need for me to have. Cory makes me feel safe.
There you go.
If you don't think that's important, I would never do a video again if I don't feel safe. So I don't know. Do you think it's important?
There you go. Yeah. I mean, everybody should feel safe.
But I'm just making a comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop seeing value with the fucking world's eyes.
Yeah.
They're wrong anyways.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking smarter. And I'm telling you, they're wrong. So if you don't know, just trust me. They're wrong. And I'm telling you, the real value is not what the world desires. The fame, the bullshit. Who gives a fuck? I'm not saying you shouldn't be famous if you're good, but there's plenty of people that are famous and they fucking suck dog balls.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like there's something out of their mouth is so putrid that society would be better if we did tape over their mouth. They're actually harming just with their words.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's just it. Or can we be people of value that doesn't do that? Like I said, so Cory, I totally dig you. Like I said, I want people to know it's not you pay me or something. I'd rather pay you, but not because I do this bullshit tit for tat. I fucking hate the fucking world. Capitalist, like everything costs something. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you ever do something just because you care? Sick fucks.
Yeah.
And then you say, I need to care about Christmas. Please.
One of my coworkers is really into Christmas. And I always like, I don't want to shit on it. Like, I don't want to be like, no, Christmas sucks. But when they're like talking about Christmas, sometimes I have to bite my tongue because I want them to feel happy. I don't want to shit on them, but also I don't care about Christmas at all.
But see, you just explained for everybody the definition of moral courage that I keep talking about, what your value is, that everybody that I guess not me, does not get how wonderful you are. Dude, your moral courage is huge. And that is fucking rare as fuck. So, like I said, if shit like that matters to you, I guess, well.
If it matters to you, so be it.
So stop for a second. Just be like an axiologist. If I assess that there's this person who is extremely high in this wonderful ability that humanity needs, and you know what generally happens when you're with this kind of person? You feel safe. I'm a victim as a child. I need safe people. You like scream safe. You got like fucking neon. I'm saying for me at least. Maybe not the whole world. I don't know. But for me, I feel. But like I said, I get what that was. The character is a person. Like you just said. That's why I said how important at the first video I talked. I said good human. What's my goal? What's my whole thing I'm trying to do and force down people's head to be a good human. I want you to be nice, care, be humanitarian, give of yourself, give of your time, love people. Stop fucking hating. My God, people spend. Just my one little rant real quick. Then I'll end. Please, leftists. I see like this person is soy, or I don't even understand all this bullshit. I'm not even gonna care. Don't tell me because I don't even fucking want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. But anyways, because I'm just saying one. I thought, and so what if I take soy stuff but it doesn't. I just go. I don't want to know what it is. Please. I'm just saying that I see thick, this kind, that kind, like, and I don't know. I guess there's like 50 different kinds of socialism or something. I don't know. And there's people are ranting at this 4 or 5 or 10 or 50. I'm like, show me pictures where you're helping kids.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this bullshit. Something about anarcho-humanism. I'm fucking. What the fuck are you wasting your motherfucker? Do you not think time is short? Because I do. Do you not really care about the world changing? Because I do. Because that behavior seems like fucking a waste of fucking time, like taking shit and sticking your fingers and playing in it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Grow the fuck up. Go out there and make a fucking difference. If you think those anarchists or those socialists aren't good, you know how you prove it? Go fucking do shit to change the fucking world.
Yep.
That'll make me believe you're better. Go feed some fucking kids. How many homeless shelters have you been to? How many people on the street have you helped? How about Cory? How much money have you sent to his account? Go ahead and end this.
Well, if you want to check out my channel, it's The Mind of a Skeptical Leftist. On Tuesday night at 6:30, I'm doing a live stream /Q&A because I hit a big 300 subscribers. So, so then it's also in podcast form on anchor.fm /Skeptical Leftist. And yeah, my Patreon is patreon.com/skepticalleftist. And if you want to follow me, it's @skepticallefty on Twitter.
Please do. Please help him financially. Please help him socially. Please help him be a bigger force in the movement because he is needed. So, thank you. Oh,
Hi, Kitty.
I can't like, hey, look, buddy, I waited long enough for this petting situation. This video's good. It's going on. I know, Demon. Yes. Yeah. Well, hey. Anyways, well, you know what though? Love. I tell everybody, I learned how to be more kind actually because of my cat, because every moment she acts like she just found me. Like if it's brand, I go, man, that's how I want to see the world, man. I want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to just have that unabandoned joy, that wonder, just seeing someone excited every time.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people I learned from my cat, because I realized, fuck, I need to act like that. That's a good way to act.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it wasn't a guru who taught me.
I heard something. I mean, we're trying to end it, but I heard something on an ad for some podcast once a while back, and it's say thank you every single day to the people in your life.
I do that anyway.
You will see.
People don't do that.
You will see your world change. And
no,
people don't just automatically
people
do that.
Don't do that. No, what the fuck? I always do that. In fact, that reminds me. I got in trouble because I like every post that the people, not every single post, but a lot of posts I like, because I'm trying to be like, solidarity, support,
right?
Like make people feel good, because that's good behavior. And then they are you a bot? They go,
yeah.
They go, you like too many things out of the range of the normal person. I'm like, well, then most people must be fucking, I guess,
that's
assholes.
Right. Yeah.
What
people
the fuck?
Are jerks.
No, wait a minute. So because I'm nice, I'm gonna get banned for 3 days because I did something wrong for you.
Yeah.
I go, oh my, this world, man. It's like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not an activist now. This world's so fucked. It needs help so bad. Oh my, even the stupidest shit like that. Like, are you fucking? And it was really crazy too. Here's really crazy. Some of my friends or followers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I see everybody as my friend, because I don't think of, I think of the world like that as if my friends. I try to approach everybody, even enemies, almost like that, because I want to try to be a good person. But so what pisses me off even worse is some of them I can hit and it will be fine, and then other ones it won't. One of those, like a socialist friend I like from Indiana, and I wanted to hit, and I said, man, it's pissing me. I could write to him though, which is fucking stupid. Well, I could write to him,
right?
But I can't like his. I go, it's like they're keeping me from showing you solidarity. I go, what the fuck is this bullshit? God, I hate this crap. So that's why I feel like is that in general, the world, I'm always in trouble, man, for just caring. I'm just like I told you before, do I seem that fucking like terrible that you need to like hide me? I'm permanently kicked off of fucking Facebook, permanently kicked off of Instagram and LinkedIn. Like, and I'm probably making because obviously my first time I got in trouble on Twitter, I'm probably making my way rounds to getting kicked the fuck off of Twitter too.
Yeah,
so you guys better follow my blog and my YouTube, because that may be all I'll have left.
Yeah, I don't get it myself. I don't see you doing too much hate speech or like any of the nasty shit that somehow gets a pass. Like all that.
But I do say shit that offends people. I mean.
Well,
I'll grant that I sometimes intentionally, like I told you before, when I would just say white out of the blue for no reason, just say that word. You say it a certain way, and they just and I go, oh, what's wrong? But anyways, people understand that. That's also because I lived a real multicultural life. My stepmother was Chinese. My stepbrothers were Chinese. My brother married a person from Chile. My aunt was from Mexico. And then the next aunt also same uncle. I think that's what they call aunt, right? I'm not totally. But anyways, also a Hispanic again. And then I have Hispanic cousins. I have people down. I've been to Mexico and met family down in Mexico. But anyways, so when people fucking like Trump, just so people understand, I look white. I can hate him for Hispanic reasons because I do have Hispanic family. And so when he says shit about Hispanics, here's the two. One of them was illegal. So fuck you, Trump. And I still love the shit out of her. So fuck you, you fucking piece of garbage. Because guess what? Here's the thing. She may have been, but the other people are already here. And there's some there and some here. See the problem? It's illegal. You mean part of the other family? Fucking asshole. You call her illegal? Anyways, wasn't it so crazy? She had to go back from California. Because I guess, I don't know, because they said that she came in illegal from Tijuana or some, I don't know, some nonsense. Sounds like America.
Right.
Got to go back to Juarez, not the same place you came from, but back to Juarez, to Texas, and then come through that. And then, so they ended up doing that. So now, so you rightists don't get angry. No longer a non-citizen, so sorry to disappoint you, but now a citizen, but still the bullshit hoops that she had to jump through. There's like, what the holy dog? And then I think my uncle had to go over and marry her there or something.
What a mess.
I'm like, does this sound like humanism? What the fuck? This sounds like total horseshit.
Borders are stupid.
So I'm like this. But anyway, so go back to exactly borders are stupid. That's another thing too pissed me off. I went down. I didn't even think about it because I don't think about dumb shit like borders. And I went down and I helped at a Mexican orphanage and gave pizza party and all this stuff. And I came back and told my friends, and I expected they thought it would be cool. And then at the first thing they say, a whole bunch of them, dickheads. They go, "Well, why don't you help kids in America?" I go, "Did you just fucking put me down for helping children?"
Because they were in the wrong place. Because somehow those kids matter less than the kids.
I'm like,
what?
I guess I can't be friends with these pieces of shit now. And guess what? I'm not friends with those people now.
I always think the same thing when you see a news article or something, like some natural disaster happens in somewhere other than Canada. And the news always says 3 Canadians died in this event. And I'm like, who the fuck cares if they were Canadians? How many people in total?
I know, it's like 100,000 people died, but 3 Canadians. I know.
3 Canadians. Yeah, like,
whoa.
Fuck off.
But see, that, once again, quit talking like an anarcho-freaking humanist if you're not going to claim that. No, my point is, so let's get about the values and behaviors. So the fact that you do it all the time. Because like I said, you're a person of character. That's why you don't need to teach anarcho-humanism to me. You know what you do? Just be a good fucking person. That almost is the example.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Anyways, I'll let you go. Thanks, man. I'll see you in January. We'll talk before this, probably.
Absolutely.
And if I do get kicked off of Twitter, I guess I'll have to find other
email. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Do you have my phone number? If not,
when I go
to Florida, I'm going to change it, so I'll have to give you the Florida one.
Okay.
But if you do have it, because I'm going to get it to you.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have it at the moment.
Let me get it to you, and I'll give you my my address to you. You'll be the only, don't ever give it to anybody.
No, of course.
I'm sorry. People, I shouldn't tell this bull crap. Anyways, whatever. Hey, I'm an anarchist. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Right.
Yeah, we're going to cut it. No, I'm done.
Okay, so don't give our phone number and address.
No, yeah, I wasn't. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, babe. I wasn't going to do that. That would be really. Well, I'll just cut that shit out. Anyways, so bye. And be good to each other and yourself.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist humanist philosopher and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, agnosticism, atheism, antitheism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudo-history, pseudo-morality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out. As well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel.